Greetings, YouTube. It's been a minute since I made a video. Just wanted to make a video. Um, I had a thought go through my mind earlier today. Me and my wife just left this beautiful place called Earth Origins here in Florida, and it is a wonderful health food spot. Um, of course, I told my wife that I wasn't going to show her face, but she can say hi if she wants to.
Hello.
All right. um, anyway, we love my wife. Love my wife, y'all. Anyway, we're leaving, and I had something on my mind. Of course, not really related to our current experience. I just wanted to just kind of just share our experience today. It's a wonderful health food place. I used to think that the only health spot was GNC. There are other nice places out here. I mean, there's interesting things you see in health places. I'm not gonna get too much into that now because I wanted to make this video for another reason. I wanted to talk about a certain subject matter, something that's came to me more than one time. I can't say it's been something that happens all the time, but it does happen. And I want to also deal with a question that was similar. Usually where I encounter people online are like Facebook or usually on Facebook. They usually ask me, now those of you that have been watching my channel probably know where I'm going with this. But they usually ask me, when they encounter me and they see that my views are not mainstream narratives and everything like that. They usually begin to ask, where do you get your information? Where do you get your information? I had one person say to me one time, and I struggled with whether I was ever going to share this, because the person that said this to me one time, it shocked me that they said it, because it was a family member. And if this family member ever sees this, I want you to know I love you. I don't mean no harm, but it did shock me that you asked me this. But they asked me, if you don't get your news from, CNN, Fox, or all these other places, then where are you getting it? Now, again, if you've watched this channel, if you're subscribed to this channel, more than likely you're either awake or you're trying to understand people that are awake, and you know that, like, wow. I mean, the first thing you're probably thinking to yourself is, wow. And that's not to knock the person that asked me. It's not about knocking them. But the first question that I've been asked is, where do you get your information? Okay, and I guess I'm really going to answer the second question within responding to the first, because they both are kind of tied together. And this is something people need to understand. If you listen to this channel, you probably already know the answer to this. But there are people that need to know this. Okay, there is life. There is life outside of CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, CNBC. There is life outside of those stations. They don't want you to believe there's life outside of those stations because of the kind of system that we live in. We live in a system that is ran, not trying to be ran. We live in a system that's ran by monopoly capitalists with the monopoly capitalist mindset that have operated in monopoly fashion, that have captured the medical industry, captured the media, and we know this because captured the military, captured different parts of our country, and we know this because we have things like the military-industrial complex. We have things like big media. We have things like the medical industrial complex. We have things like the prison industrial complex. Those things exist because the private sector is involved and exercises tremendous power and influence in those areas. That's something that needs to be understood. And so if you have a monopoly mindset, then what you're going to do to your competition, if you've developed enough power to where you basically run the media, is you're going to lift up your mouthpieces to the highest level possible as credible, and then you're going to try to discredit and demonize your competition. That's what the disinformation sort of nonsense that is all about when they talk about the internet and fake news and stuff like that. That fake news kind of backfired on them, but at the same time, that's what that mindset is all about. It's not because there's it's as bad as they're making it seem, and all the disinformation that's on the internet. Well, anytime you have a free medium, you're going to get good things and you're going to get bad things. The thing to do with a free medium is to train people to think, or empower them rather to think critically about the information that they're coming across, not to try to regulate and censor opposing voices. The reason why you're seeing censoring is because, again, our system is ran by monopoly capitalists. That's why. That's why it's ran by people that are controlling things from behind the scenes, by oligarchs, essentially. And and they don't want any voices because they want to shape your thinking. They want to shape how you view certain things. That's why, leaving the media and going into the medical side of things, that's why even when there were alternatives that people were trying to offer outside of the boom boom, I can't even say the word because YouTube might take it down. If there are people offering alternatives outside of that, they tried to demonize them and call them quacks. It wasn't because the information that they were presenting wasn't right, or there wasn't possibly any logic to them or anything like that. They didn't want competition. Understand that. So, make a long story short, we're about to come to where we are. So I wanted to just go ahead and leave this information. People ask me, okay, where do you get your information from? And there's going to probably be a part 2 to this. I get my information from alternative sources, and I'm not talking about just any alternative source. I'm talking about alternative sources that I've come to find to be trustworthy, that source their material, that source their material, where you can go and check behind their research and things like that. Okay, and so that's where I get my information. And the next time I make a video in my part 2, I'll give you websites that I go to if you're interested in knowing, or sources that I go to. I also am someone who believes in, if I know of certain things, trying to get firsthand information. We live in a day where you can do that. You don't have to mail things to anybody. You can go on the internet and get a bill and literally download the bill, or get it printed if you're at the library or something like that, and you can read the bill yourself. So we're living in a time where, yes, it's easier in a sense to be deceived, but we're also living in a time, if you know how to do the research and everything, there's no excuse for being deceived. So anyway, that's just what I wanted to leave with you. Blessings.